Today, we're gonna build a 1 million simoleon castle. And this was voted on by you guys on my community tab, so thank you so much. And I just realized the big job that I have ahead of me. So let's start, shall we? Oh, we freaking shall. And our first point of action for this castle build is to do some inspiration touring, also called Googling. So let's see what will pop up when we get some castles. We have this classic castle right there, and then we have some more difficult ones over here, with all the shebang jaboo. And what do I want to go for today? Maybe actually low-key, high-key. I'm sorry, I'm never saying that sentence again. What if we try something like that? A very standard old classic castle with a square box and the towers on each side. That could be kind of cool. Just a standard old castle. And the moat. Oh, we need to have a moat. Come on, we need a moat. I want to do that. That picture right there. And by the way, as always, to track our money, we're gonna use the lot value and not the money system down here because it never works and I hate the sound. Right, let's build this castle in the good old Tartosa. This is a 50 by 50 lot. Hopefully that's gonna be big enough. I do not want to build on a 64 by 64 lot because that's gonna be so laggy. And I want to build here. Okay, I'm procrastinating. Let's build this castle. And what do we want to start with? I mean, let's start with the big old box. And I think maybe we can go sort of like so, because we need some space for the moat. I mean, yeah, I think that is a good enough space. And we are of course gonna use the tall wall height because a castle needs to be tall. And maybe we can go for 2 floors. That'd be neat and nice. And then we need some towers on the sides here. And the towers, they're gonna be round. Yes, I'm gonna make some round rooms and I'm gonna regret it big time. But here we are. Well, that was not a round room. That's an oval room. Oh, I hate the round room so much and I don't even have any space to do this on. Oh, go in, take you out. Why is there a big hole in the ground? Well, that's not gonna work. Back to the drawing board. What about the little one? Save me. Not really round, but I will take that. And then we're just gonna plop that on the corner, sort of like that, and do that on all of the corners. Oh, that is some good old towers. Then I think in the middle, if the door is over there, we can have some other towers over here with the square ones, because I'm tired of the round ones. Then we can have some teeny tiny towers in the middle, so like that, so it's not one big old square old thing. Maybe that could be an idea. Oh, and then we can have some towers in the back too, with some octagonal ones. Hold on, I'm all over the place, I know it. What if we go sort of like so, plop that on, and then we can have a small tower on each side of that with a spiky roof, like a witch's hat. Maybe we can do that. And then we can do the same shebang jaboo on these sides as I did in front of there. Yeah. And then, oh, you know what? You know what I'm gonna do? I think that in the middle of this castle, I'm gonna do sort of about that. Then I'm gonna remove the floor and the ceiling so we can get a little bit of a courtyard inside of the castle. Because we're not gonna have a lot of gardening on the outside. It's just gonna be a big old moat, you know? And I would love to have a courtyard in the middle of my house. I would. And then also for the wallpaper, we're of course gonna have a castle-y wallpaper. And what better pack for that than the castle estate kit? And for this castle, what color do we want to go for? Ooh, maybe a little bit of a lighter one. Like that. And then on the top, we can go like so. Ooh, I like that. Then also for the roofing, you can go sort of like that. Just a flat old thing with some fencing. Okay, yeah. You know what? I'm going to do that. Just sort of like so. Hey ho. Oh, that looks good already. With my good old towers and the pointy roofs. And if you're wondering what this is, those are just some helping tiles to mathemize this place out, you know? Ignore those. But now for the doors and windows. What are we going to do today? Oh, maybe we can use this door. Finally. I don't often use this door because it's meant for tall wall height, but today is the day. And we also have a little balcony up there that I put up. We can have that door over there. Ooh, snazzy. And then for the windows, maybe we can go with that. Or we can have the little ones on the top, then the big ones on the bottom, maybe. Oh, that looks cool. By the way, what are we gonna do for the round old towers? Because, round rooms in The Sims never works. Because if I put up this window, it's, you know, it's not working. So we could use this one, but that's kind of teeny tiny for that big old tower. But if we put up enough, maybe it could be a vibe. With all my might, it can. Maybe. And that is exactly what I did, people. Whoa! I have no more to say than that. I put up some windows, put up the doors, and I also put up little round things over there. Put up some little flags in the towers. It is looking grand and majestic up in here, I do have to say. Wow. But alright, let's start working a little bit on the inside. And you know what? Just a disclaimer for this whole build. I'm gonna do things a little bit different. Because usually, I will do one thing at a time, finish it up, go to the next room, and then so on. But for this build, for me to not get overwhelmed, I'm just gonna do a little bit here and there. Because it eases my mind to know that things are half finished instead of not finished at all, if that makes sense. So So hope you're ready. But alright, I really want to figure out the layout of this place. And the most important thing that we're going to start with is the staircase movement. Because if you didn't know, in the new Sims update, we have gotten some stairs updates. You can now do this and that. Whoa! And you can also choose what the railings are going to be on the staircase. Look at that. So I'm kind of excited about that. And I want to make a grand old staircase moment for this. And it's going to be right there. Because that is the middle of the build. So I think in my head, what do I want? Maybe I actually want a double staircase. Like so. And then we can do an L-shaped one. Come on, there we go. Then we can have another one on the other side. Boom, boom. And then we can flare that out a little bit. And then put up some railings. And look at this. Boop. And shabam. The railing is gone in the middle. Oh, beautiful. That was truly magical. And you know what? That is the title for squeeze of a space. So maybe we can take this out a little bit. So we have more space for the staircase. And take out the flooring on here too. Okay. We can fix that up later. No problemos. And why is there a floating octagon in the middle? Hello. Well, all right. Back to the inside of this place. We need to do the layouting, and I'm so nervous because I am used to small houses. I'm not used to big old houses, and I just you know. So where do we even begin with this? Where do we even start? Maybe I think we can start with putting in some doors and stuff because we need some doors to our courtyard over here. And I think first off, we of course need some doors over here. That is the best spot for that. And then we can have some doors in here because I've kind of planned that out in my mind. And then we could also have some doors over there because then we will get a good old courtyard symmetrical shenanigan moment, you know? Yeah, we all know that. Good. And now for the walls and the layout. Oh, I'm nervous. All right, so the entryway, I think that is easy. We can just block that off right here. And ooh, actually, I think we need to figure out where the stairs are going to be because we can't just have one staircase. That would be insane. We need some staircases over there and maybe some over there as well. So what if you try to put in a staircase right there? If I go like so, do a little moment. Oh, that was ugly. And then we can have another one right over there. And then we could also squeeze in a staircase right over there by that door. And then also a staircase right over here by this door. Maybe that could work. Maybe I did some fanoodling with the staircases. Think they're looking okay? Oh, I love that little turnaround. It turned around the whole build. And then for the walls in here, we can have a wall by this staircase. And then for these staircases, where are we going to block that off? Maybe just like so. It could work. And then we can have some bathrooms or something over there. I think that is our best shot. And where are the other rooms going to be? Oh, no. Oh, okay. We have so many rooms. Or we're going to have a lot of rooms. So let's try and figure out, first of all, where the kitchen is going to be. The heart of the house. I do kind of want it to be over here. Gotta be honest. Because this is a great old spot for the dining room. And the kitchen needs to be next to the dining room, you know? So what if we make a funky shape for the dining room? The game is already starting to lag, people. And then we can have a dining table in the middle right there. And where is the kitchen gonna be? Oh no. What if we do something like so? That's a very weird shape, but we could handle that. And where are the people gonna come into the dining room? Maybe through here? If we just block it off like so. It's getting even worse, people. It's getting so bad. But what if we do it like that? That could be a grand entrance moment. And then we just do the same on the other side. Just sort of like that. I mean, that's a weird old shape, but it works for us. And then right up here by this section of the house, we could perhaps squeeze in a bathroom or something. If I go like so, that's gonna be a big old bathroom. Ooh, all right. What if this is a bathroom and this is the butler's room? Because these people would have a butler. And the butler is gonna get his own bathroom. That is their bathroom. Yes. And then I think I'm gonna mirror this on the other side of the house, right over there. And then over here, we could have some sort of laundry room maybe. And I wish I didn't delete the walls on the inside of this round room because now I'm never getting them back. But all right, that can be something else. All right. We got some sort of layout happening on the first floor. And then for the second floor, what we can do for the second floor? I mean, we first of all do need a hallway so you can get to all these rooms. And it would make the most sense if the hallway was on the outside of the house. Not on the outside, but to the outside walls. Because all the staircases are on the outside walls. To the outside walls. And somebody's texting me. I'm making a castle in the Sims. Let me be. Okay. To summarize, would make more sense for the hallways to be towards the outside walls, but all the cool rooms are to the outside walls. And we can't use that for the hallways. No. So I think the hallways are going to be to this wall, the other outside wall. So I think I'm just going to start with making some hallways on the inside, just all around my good old build we go. And let's see. Where is the most important room on the second floor going to be? AKA the primary bedroom. I think it's going to be over here with the grand all round rooms, the octagon rooms. We have some staircases over there, that's right. But what if it goes all like so? That could be the main room. And then, ooh, what if you do like that? We can even go like so, because then we will have a kick-ass ensuite bathroom and a walk-in closet, and they still have so much room in their primary bedroom. I think that's sort of a good idea. And then we can divide this place up, and that can be another hallway. And that one too. Then we can separate some rooms over here and a room over there. And right. I think I've done enough rooms for today and forever. Here is all the rooms on the top floor and on the first floor. And you know what? I think it is time for a little floor plan tour. If I can remember all the rooms. Oh, Nora in the future is gonna hate me because she has to write the text on each of the rooms. She's gonna hate me. But all right, here we go. Here is the entryway with the hallway and a little activity room over there. And then we have the butler's room with a bathroom. And then we have a stairwell room and a living room, stairway room, kitchen, question mark room, dining room. Then we have a laundry room, hallway, chest room, question mark, butler's room, bathroom, stairwell, living room, office room, tillum. And then on the second floor, we have stairway room, a huge old hallway, tiny bathroom. Then we have some sort of living room situation right there with a library, stairwell, a TV room, an office, a primary bedroom with an ensuite bathroom and a walk-in closet. And then over here we have a bedroom, bathroom, bedroom, stairwell room, bedroom, bathroom, boom shamalam, our castle. And how many rooms is that? 37? I just realized that I have to furnish 37 rooms. Oh, yikes me. All right, let's not think about that too much though. And let's start working on some landscaping instead, because that's fun, isn't it? There it is. And my game just froze. Oh no. Okay. And for the outside, for this castle of ours, we are gonna start with a moat. The water that goes around the castle, just sort of like that. So for our moat, we have a little pathway over here so people can get into this castle. I mean, I wish we had one of those doors that like goes down when you want to get into the castle, but we don't. And I don't know why I'm putting up these ones, but I felt the vibe. But back to our moat. We're gonna make our moat. So we're gonna take our pathing tool and we're just gonna make a big old dip all the way around the castle. And just sort of like so. Some good old water. And you know what? We're gonna change up the water because that is way too clean. So what about this one? The mossy water. Ooh, yeah. I wish they had more water samples. Because this is kind of a little bit too much, isn't it? We want some dirty water. No, we can have the mossy one. And then, to make our moat even moatier, I am going to put in some cliff rocks from the debug section. And then I'm going to frame the whole moat in with these rocks. And I'm also going to put in some little water details, like some lilies and other stuff that you have in the water. I'm not going to put too much because we already have a lot going on with the mossy water. But I'm going to do my best with my rocks. And you shall see the rocks being put up right now. I'm gonna drink my coffee. Do not spill, Nora. And that was wonderful. That was amazing. Ooh, what a great old day. And wasn't that a wonderful moat montage? I think it was. We got our moat all the way around this build. I do have to fix up a little bit of things here and there, like the water seeping through the building right here and the little gaps and stuff like that. But as I said, for this video, I'm going to do a little bit here and there to not get overwhelmed. So this is the start of it. And then I'm also, we can't forget about the planting. No. Because I'm going to put up some plants around this build. And unfortunately, a lot of the plants that I'm going to use is debug because they are the best plants and they cost simoleons. But I'm gonna find some plants that also cost some money, like the green fern and whatnot. Yeah, and I'm gonna be putting them up around my build, make it a little bit messy, but not too much. For our castle today. I love putting up plants. Such a calming experience until it's not. Until it's frickety not relaxing, and then it's not relaxing. I tell you that. Anyways, but there you go. My plants are up around this build. I just did a little quick planting. I haven't done all the details yet. Remember that. Not all details. I'm gonna do a lot more detailing, but this is the start of the planting around this build. I hit everything with that. Okay. But good. That was the start of our moat. And now we need to start with the courtyard in here. And what do we want to do for that? I want to do something grand. And more, I don't know. But I saw a cool little circle in the reg section. This one. And I think that could be a cool motive for our courtyard. And then on top of that, we could put in a fountain. And what is the most expensive fountain? This one. Wait, hold on. That is only 2,500 simoleons. How? All right. What about this one? Ooh, yeah. That we can have in the middle right there. And what else? We're gonna have. We're of course gonna have some pathways and all the doors, but we can have some shenanigans over here. And what can that be? Oh, we can maybe have this one and put a lady in there. Oh, that could be kind of cool. And then we can have some benches on each side, sort of like so, and put some plants behind there. Oh, we can do that. Yeah. That could be a cool moment. If you have some plants back there, then we do the same on the other side as well. I feel like that could be a moment and a half. And you know what? I feel like it sort of was. Sort of like that. Oh, this is gonna be a great old courtyard. And then for the pathings, you can maybe use this pathing and then just go down the line. line from all the doors to just sort about there. I'm kind of unsure about that actually. I don't know if I want the whole courtyard to be in a stony moment or if I want these pathways. I am actually not that sure. But I can put up some of this shenanigan on all the walls. That wall is not painted, by the way. But I'm still so unsure if I want the whole thing to be one rock moment or just the pathways. You know what? I'm gonna think about that. I'm gonna put a pin in it and we will come back to it. Yes. And I think in the meantime, we are gonna furnish all of the rooms, which I'm not really that excited about, but here we are. Where are we at with our money, by the way? 200,000 simoleons. Okay, we have a long way to go. So, first of all, for the wallpaper and flooring, I'm just gonna put in some flooring and wallpaper in all the rooms. So we have done that, you know. So we're gonna go with the most expensive wood flooring, 20 simoleons. And then for the wallpaper, we can do some variation of this. But I think we can go for something like so, maybe. And then for some other rooms, we can also go like so. I think that's the vibe and a half. Because, the vibe of this place. We need to go over what is the vibe gonna be for this place. It's gonna be, of course, castle-y. So we need to have some sort of old style, but not too old. We can have a little bit of technological, but not too technological and modern. We're gonna go mostly in the vintage stuff. But we need to focus on the expensive furniture as well. So there might be some ugly furniture pieces now. But we will manage. But alright, back to furnishing the rooms. And what do we want to begin with first on the inside? Maybe we can begin with the stairwells. All the stairwell rooms. Because why not? And you know what? For the stairwell rooms, I want them to be stony. Then we can have a little welcome rug. With some ballerinas by the door. Those are expensive, 2,000. And then we can have this painting of this dancing couple. Okay. And what can we have with the staircase right there? What about this big old fan palm tree? Why not? And then for this stairwell room, I'm gonna do exactly the same for the symmetry. Just sort of like so. And then for these two stairwell rooms, we're also gonna have the stony walls. And we're also gonna have stony flooring in a checkered pattern maybe. I think that could be kind of cool, but let's see. Yeah, that was kind of cool. I'm gonna keep that. And then on the floor, we can have this emblem with maybe some plants by the door. Another fan palm tree back there. I love that little tree. Great. That was all the stairwell rooms on this floor. And what can we begin with now? Maybe this area. This huge old mess of a thing. We have the kitchen, the dining, and the question mark rooms. Ooh. So let's do the dining room first. And we're gonna have a big old chandelier. And for the dining table, we need the most expensive table, which is this one. Gonna plop that right in the middle with the most expensive chairs. The Queen's dining chair. And I must say, the colors are not great. But we can go for the brown one. That's the least worst one, you know. Will that be okay for our eyes? I mean, yeah, not too bad. Ooh, by the way, what are we gonna do about the curtains? Because a lot of the curtains do not fit all windows. The talls of the windows. And we have the talls of the windows. See, that's not gonna fit. That could fit, but that's not the style. What about these ones? The jazzy curtains. Oh, that can fit. You know what? We can have those curtains. Just about so. Oh, I like it. And then for the paintings on our walls, we can maybe have this ship and another ship. But maybe we can have this guy. And then by the window, we can have a little table with another ship. And then maybe on this side, we can have a little one of these. Turntable troll media cabinet. Beautiful. And what are we gonna have for the question mark rooms? I do question that. What if we have a little bar moment? I mean, that that kind of fits in. You can have a little Jesse bar moment in each of the rooms. I mean, come on, that is kind of funny. We're gonna have that with the saxophone on the wall. Oh yeah, and our plates on the wall. These are so expensive. 2,000 simoleons. That's insane. I think those plates cost more than our fountain. Yes, it does. But okay. Now we're gonna begin with the kitchen. And I'm kind of scared about the kitchen because look at this room. Look at it! But I do think that I want some stony walls. And we can do the same shebang and shaboo as we did in the stairwell rooms with a funky chest pattern. Just sort of like so. I think that's great. I think that's lovely. Alright, what are we gonna do about this kitchen? We're of course gonna use the most expensive counters. But what is the layout gonna be? What if we have some counters like so? And then we can have two fridges in the middle. And then over here we can have some sinks, maybe. If we get in some end pieces and whatnot. And then over by this wall, we can have the stoves. And maybe a little counter in the middle. Yeah, maybe. This room is so weird. But I will take it. What fridge do we want? Ooh, I think I want this fridge. It's probably a little bit too modern for this place. But if we go like so, we're gonna have a weird old gap in the middle. And I do not want that. So we're gonna go with this. And then for the cabinet situation, we have some very, very tall walls. And then no matter what we do, it's gonna look ridiculous. And I do really want to do something about this awkwardness. Because This looks weird, doesn't it? So I think, what if we take this long old cabinet on each of the sides, just make a little framing moment with that. We can maybe have that at the end too. And then also just put some more cabinets on top. Yeah, you know what? We can do that. Do not question it too much. Not my best kitchen, I have to say. But we are indeed getting somewhere. And we gotta think about our money too. How much have we spent, by the way? 369. Okay. Still a long way to go. Ooh, okay. Why do I do this? I don't know. But we're gonna move on to the entryway. And for the entryway, I also want some stony walls and some columns in every nook and corner. And then by the staircase right here, maybe we can have some statues. What about our founding statue? Just right by the stairs. And oh my gosh, the stairs are so glitchy. Who would have thought that? Not me! We can also have some flowers. Oh my gosh, it's so glitchy. Holy moly me. Go. Ooh, no. Oh. Sort of like so. Then we can have a rug in the middle of the room. Size it up a little bit though. To about there. Then we can place in a table in the middle with our good old statue. Maybe we can have some benches over here by these walls. I don't know why, but we are. Yeah. And by the way, this is also one of the rooms I'm going to come back to because I think I'm going to open up these rooms or keep them closed. And that's going to be like the closet, but I'm not so sure. I'm going to think about it. And while I think about it, we are going to move over to this room, the bar room. For our good old bar room within the bar. So if we just have this one in the back there, I'm going to pretend that is a backsplash. I know that is a bar, but right now it's a backsplash. And then we can have the real old bar in the front here, some bar stools, and then maybe we can have some sort of wallpaper behind there for a little backsplash. What about this one? Frame that in with some columns. And maybe we can have this wallpaper on this side too. Just as a little accent thing. Yeah, we can do that. And then it looks kind of weird on the top there, so what can we do? What if we put up some curtains? Not the best curtains for this vibe, but those are one of the few curtains that reach all the way to the top. So, you know. And then by this wall over here, we can have a little sitting moment. The good old table in the middle and create some moods. Yeah, that's a moody moment. And then by here, what are we gonna have by here? And yes, I know the plants are sticking through. I'm gonna fix that. And also some of the freezers are sticking through. I'm gonna fix that too. I don't know how to fix that, but I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna fix everything. But in this corner, we're gonna have a little music moment. And that was the bar room, minus the details. And then for this room, by the way, that was gonna be the office. We can put in the most expensive desk, just right in the middle of this room with a very expensive computer. And that's the start of that room. Okay. Now we remember that is an office. Gonna come back to it. And what do we want to do now? Maybe we can start on the bathrooms and the butler rooms. And I think for this bathroom, I want to go with these tiles. And the wallpaper, maybe we can try with green. That is a mood. And then for the bathroom set, what is the most expensive bathtub? It's this one, the jet set, 12,000. But I think I want to use this one, the swan. Because come on, look at that. Then we can have a sink moment over there. Then we can have a toilet moment over there. And of course, we can use the swan throne. 5,000 simoleons. Boom. Shamalam, people. Come on, my better. Get up there. And you did. Oh, I'm so proud of you. And what else are we going to do for this room? Maybe in that corner, we can have a little shower moment. So if you put a shower in there and put up a half wall. Oh my gosh, the game is glitching so much. Do not die on me. We can put in that wall. And then a little shower window. And I'm going to use a very non-traditional shower window for this. I'm going to use that one. That's kind of a cool moment, isn't it? Oh, and by the way, if you are wondering how you can get rid of this annoying edge piece right here, we've all been annoyed by it. At least I have. The thing you gotta do is to put up a little fence, like so, to connect it all to the room, and then the edge piece will be gone. Ta-da! Over to the butler's room. That was gonna be over here. And for the butler's room, I know this is gonna hurt the budget, but we're gonna make this room kinda sad and ugly. So we're gonna go with the worn and torn walls and the worn and torn flooring. And we're gonna put in the saddest furniture that you have ever seen for this poor butler that's to work in this gosh darn castle. Okay, I'm gonna do the exact same stuff for these two rooms as I did over there. And then skedaddling over to the hallways, I want to do a little carpet moment, a little carpet runner moment, but I'm quite unsure how I'm going to do that because you have a corner right there. But what if I try my bestest? Can it work then? Oh my gosh, I really do not know what I'm going to do with this corner right here. Why on earth is there not a corner piece? Is there a corner piece? No, there's no corner pieces. No matter what I do, that is just ugly. If I go like so, I'll think about it. And while I think about it, we're going to do the laundry room. And for the laundry room, I want some different wallpaper. I want some green. Oh, could be a funky moment. And then we can place in some dryers over there and some washing machines over here. And where are we gonna have the hamsters? The hamsters. The Hamptons? Hamper. The hampers. I did not think about this. What about some in the corner right here? And two in the middle? Sure, why not? That's good enough. Plenty good. Beautiful. And then in this room, we're gonna have the chest room. And that is 1,000. That's good. And I have no ideas what I'm gonna do for the decorations in this room. But for now, I'm gonna go like this. And I'm gonna come back. That is kind of a creepy room, isn't it? It kinda is. Okie dokie doo. What rooms do we have left on the first floor? We have that room and the hallway and that room. Okay. So maybe we can begin on the art room. That was gonna be in the circular hellhole. Why did I put up circular rooms? I hate them so much. But for this room, what do we want for the wallpaper? I want something light blue. Like maybe this one be a vibe. And for that art room, we of course need some easels. And then they can paint whatever is on that thing, which is a flower apparently. And oh my gosh, it is so difficult to furnish a round room, I tell ya. Like look at this. Can I put up this on the wall? It's just disappearing into the wall. What if I do like so? Oh, great. What a great old art room that is. And where are we at with our budget? 482,000 simoleons. We're not even halfway there, people. Okay. Well, let's start furnishing the living room. The main grand old living room. And for our main grand old living room, we need a fireplace. What about that one? The most expensive one is this one, but kind of not the vibe for today. Genu. Oh, I mean, it is very annoying that the window is there. We can't really get rid of that window. Can we hide that window with perhaps this one? I mean, sure, why not? We can surely do that. All right, what about the couches? What do we want? I mean, we have these ones, but come on. I think I want to go for these ones. Then we can have a big old circular rug in the middle with a coffee table that is not round but almost. And then for this little circular part of the room, what are we gonna have in there? Maybe, but just maybe, we can have a piano. And the most expensive one is this one. But I'm not really feeling any of the color vibes. What about that one? Ooh, that one is pretty. You know what? We can have this one. That's cool. I like it. And then for the curtains in the circular room. Oh my gosh. We could put up these ones, but that's gonna be weird. And if we use some of this shebang that's gonna clip into the wall. I mean, I think our only hope, our one and only hope, people, if I can find it, goodness me. Hello. There it is this one. I know it's too modern. I know, but I think that's our only hope. What a hoity-toity mess that was, but I'll take it. And then maybe over here we can have some sort of music thingy thing. This one I can fit right in, and then we can have a glow bar over there with also Johnny Depp on the wall. And then in this corner, I think we need some sort of game moment. Not gay, but game. I don't know which one I said. It could be a gay game. The gays are allowed in this castle. Anyways, I'm gonna plop this one in there for our games table. And that was a living room for now. Kinda cozy, kinda good. And that was the whole first floor. Sorta kinda ish done. And we are gonna begin on the second floor. Ooh. And what do we want to begin with? Maybe the primary bedroom? Maybe. And for our primary bedroom, what are we gonna go with? The bed. Maybe this bed. And we can go with some dark wood and the green. I think that would be lovely. And we can put the bed right in there. Some matching nighttime tables. I need to figure out what I'm gonna do back there. But for now, it's just gonna be like so. With also some nice old green old curtains. Alrighty roll. One section of the bedroom done. What are we gonna do over here? What can we have? Maybe a vanity table? You know what? Yeah. People who live in a castle, they had that vanity table. We can even have Lady Mimsy on the wall. And then over by this section of the room, we could have a fireplace moment. It's a good old jolly one. Or maybe not so jolly. With some matching chairs. A little table in the middle. And then we can even plop in a grandfather's clock over there. That could be kind of cute. And then on this wall, we can have the other guy. Bernard. And also the knights. Just to use some money. They're worth 8,000 simoleons. Gio mio ma. Alright, let's start working on these other rooms. So that room, that was going to be the walk-in closet. And then that room, that was going to be a bathroom. And for the bathroom, you know what I'm going to do. In this little section right here, we can have the bathtub. And of course, I'm going to raise it up all the way to high heavens. Just about right there. And then I'm going to plop in my bathtub and the very expensive towels. And then right over here, we're going to have a sink moment. We can have two of them. Those are some end pieces. And then maybe for the mirror moment, we can go with these ones. We could just plop them on there. Sort of like so. That could be kind of cool. Yeah. And then we also need a toilet and the shower. I'm going to do the same shower shenanigans as I did in the other room. Just sort of like so. Maybe finish it off with some columns for now. And maybe some more towels over there for that shower. I mean, yeah, we can do that. And then for the walk-in closet, what can we do in here? I mean, maybe we can put up a lot of things around this whole room with like shelves and stuff in this type of color or in this one. And then I think we can even plop in a mirror right there. Yeah. And oh my gosh, this is lagging out so much. I don't even know what I'm going to do in the corner right there. I think I have to come back to this room because the shelves are lagging to the heckity heck. I think I'm going to come back to that because oh my gosh, I can't. Well, righty-o. Let's start working on the bajillion other bedrooms that's going to be in there. So let's just start in this corner. And I think all the bedrooms are going to have their own color. So this bedroom, that is going to be the pink bedroom with the most expensive bed and some cute old nighttime tables. Oh my gosh, that's actually really cute. I do like that. And And then I just need to plop on the same curtain disaster we wish all manage on. And then maybe right over here, we could have a fireplace. And we can use this one because that's kind of in that mood and that vibe of this room. And then also plop in this couch with this funky old chair on this good day. And what plant do we want in that corner? This one or that one? You know what? We can have both for now because I'm going to come back to all these rooms. And then I might have figured out what I want to do, you know? I might. All right. And then for the bathroom, we of course can have the pink marble bathroom. Wow. Oh, that is a very pink bathroom, but all right. For the bathtub, we can have the most expensive one, the jet set. And then also plop in the throne. And for a sink moment, ooh, what are we gonna do? Maybe, what if we go with this one? And then do some shabak and shabu? What if we do it like so? That's kind of a cute moment. Probably not usable, but that's okay for us today. We can ignore the usability, but the cuteness. Yeah. And what a pink old bathroom that was indeed. All right. And then for this room, what color can that be? Maybe that color. I mean, that is very obnoxious, but we can have that color. And pair it up with these walls. I think that was very lovely. I sound very unsure about that, but I think it should be a moment. Then we can also plop in a closet over there and a good old mirror over there. Shabalom, shabalom. Into the bathroom we go. And for this bathroom, ooh, we can maybe have the sink over here and plop in the bathtub over there. And then maybe we can separate the room off a little bit. So we can have the toilet room in there and then the shower room in there. Some good old glass walls on the shower room only. You know what? Kind of snazzy. Kind of cool. Oh, and then of course you need a mirror over there. And then maybe a rug. It doesn't really make sense to have a fluffy rug in here. But don't mind that. All right. And then over to this room. What color can that be? Ooh, what about a red room? Just a scary merry red room. Sure. With also a scary merry bathroom. Jeepa Joe, okay. And then for this room, that can be the yellow room. Some yellow wallpaper and a good old yellow bed. Ooh, I like that bed. And we can even plop in this one as a rug. Yeah. Oh, that's kind of cozy. I like that. And then for the dresser situation, where are we going to put the dresser? Maybe we can put the dresser over here. That seems like a good and lovely spot for it. And then for the other parts of the room, we can have a desk over there with this lovely chair. Then in that corner, we can just have a chair corner, a chair movement. Sure. And then for the accompanying bathroom, we need some yellow walls and put in the kind of yellow bathroom stoof. The throne. Ooh, and what mirror are we gonna go for? Maybe this one? That could maybe work. Kind of a cute and light and bright bathroom. I like that. Good old bathroom. Oh, we have so many rooms. All right, we gotta hang in there. So this room, that was supposed to be some sort of office shenanigan room. Wasn't it? We have some good old chairs right here for their office shenanigan moments. And then right over here, ooh, what if we can put in some bookcases like that and then plop in a bar in the middle? Yes, this person wanted a bar in their office. Yeah, they did. And then for this room, that was going to be, what was that going to be again? That was going to be the TV room. I see. I gotta think about that. What about this room? That was going to be the library room. So what if we put up some bookshelves? What about so on each wall? Well, not every wall, but most of the walls. And then in the middle, we can plop in some desks and some computers. And the computer is hanging on for dear life. I see how it is. But back there, we can also have some couches. And for this room, oh my gosh, we have so many rooms. What do we do for this room? Oh, what if we have what if we do a couch moment in here? A circle couch moment. Oh, that could be kind of cool. In this blue theme. Ooh, kind of liking that vibe. Kind of am. Jeepalibalo. This is a never-ending mess. I see how it is. All right, you know what? I have dinner plans in about 30 minutes, so I need to skedaddle. But I'm gonna continue with this build tomorrow. And I will see you then. Nora out. And Nora is back again. Hello. It is 7 in the morning. 7. And I am wearing 3 layers of clothing because it's so cold. And I feel like a good old mess. And you know what the funniest part is? Is that yesterday, I thought to myself that, people won't realize that I filmed this over the span of 2 days. They won't notice, won't they? They won't. Anyways, let's get back to this build, shall we? Oh, we freaking shall. And first of all, how much money have we used? 885,000 simoleons. I mean, we don't have much left. We're getting there. Jeebalo. I mean, we have so many rooms. An absolute atrocity. Many rooms to do. So, let's begin with the rooms that are the least finished, which is this row right here that I had to do quickly before I had to go to a dinner, where I was very well hydrated. And I also had a lot of fatty foods that is not sitting well today, I must say. So I'm feeling all kinds of stuff. Too much information, Nora. All right, maybe we can start with the library. I feel like that is the least intimidating room. So I'm just gonna pop in some curtains. If I can ever find, oh my gosh, I hate the curtain menu. I so wish that the curtain menu could be categorized after height. Because when you're looking for curtains, your main goal is to get a curtain curtain that fits the gosh darn window, you know? But anyways, let's get in some paintings. Maybe Lady Mimsy can be on the wall. And also, what about this one? We just size that up a little bit. Maybe that could work, but we may never know. Alright, and now for the desks, we need some decorations in there. What can that be? Maybe some lamps. And then we also have an assortment of books that we could perhaps put on there. Just maybe like so. Then we have this over here that we can maybe put on one of the couches. Because why not? And also put a book stack over there, because I felt like it. And then we can also throw in some pillows and some more lights in here, because that is a good waste of money. Right, now for this room. By the way, I am so conflicted because on one hand, it would have been good to have one kid's bedroom or toddler bedroom in here, which I have not done because I forgot about them. I forgot that they existed. And I was just like, maybe this could be a kid's bedroom. But then I was just like, no, because I want this cool old couch moment. And then I thought maybe this could be a kid's bedroom, but that's gonna be the TV room. I can't put a TV in here. Where's the TV gonna be? There? I mean, it could be, but I don't want to. So what could be in this room? What could it be? Maybe this could be like a tea room? How about that? They just have the tea. Nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. Just tea. So what if I go like so? With some tea trays on there. Could be a 5.5. Will that work though? I don't know. I think it could maybe work if we squint our eyes. It could maybe work. Oh, you know what would have been cool too? Have like a wall of flowers. That's not gonna work with the round room. I see. Oh, what if we do that for this room? We have like a wall of plants. Because we will use a good chunk of money on that. Okay, well, I'm gonna fix that later. Back to this room. In this room, I'm gonna do the same curtain trick as I did in all the other round rooms. Well, not that one. That was a horrible example. But I did also remember that we have other curtains in that same kind of style. But I don't know. I don't know if that is gonna work. Oh, that is kind of cute. No, okay. I think this one is gonna be kind of too much. And this is the tea room where we are calm and collected. But I'm not feeling calm and collected by these curtains, I do have to say, for this room. But alright, what can we have in this corner over there? Maybe we can have another table. A little table of nickety knacks. Just pop it in. Oh no, we have to choose one that is more expensive. Put your head in the game. What about that one? That's kind of cute. More expensive. Now find some decorations that are very expensive. You have some antique teapots. That one too. We are collecting the pots. We can also put up an expensive painting of the jazz cats. Always very lovely. And then on the couch, we can also have some pillows. And I'm gonna rotate them. Not that way though. The other way. Then we can have some over here as well. And then maybe some over here too. Boom, boom, go, da, 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 da. I don't know where that came from. How much money have we used now, by the way? Ooh, 900,000? Only 100,000 to go, people. Could you believe it? Could ya? I don't think you could. Not even if you tried. Alright, let's focus on this room now. And for this room, I'm gonna first of all put up my curtains. Did we really go with a mustard color in here? Apparently we did. Can't remember that, but we did. Don't know if I like that, to be quite honest with you. Maybe we're not gonna begin with the curtains. After all, we can begin with the plant wall that I promised you. Or did I? Yes, I did. I promised everybody a plant wall. Oh, and of course, that is not gonna be symmetrical. Because why would I be that lucky, you know? What if I go like so? That's good for now. We're gonna have more shelves, but I need to try this out. Can you? For the love of Nora, do I really have to put each and every plant manually up there? I guess I do. Well, gee, bully, okay. I'm gonna do it manually, apparently. Hold on a minute. And hold that minute long, because it's gonna take me an hour or two just to do this. Just sort of like so. On each of the walls, that is kind of cute. I kind of like that. And then in that corner over there, we can also have a plant. Would you believe it? We're gonna have even more plants. And then on the TV table, we are just gonna have so many. Oh, scratch that. As I said, on this TV table, we're just gonna have a lot of nickety knacks and PlayStations and whatnot to spend up some money for a good old room. Oh, and by the way, maybe we can squeeze in the rug in it as well. Yes, we can, and we did. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful is a strong word, but it was something. And then for the curtains, I mean, the struggle with the curtains, I do have to say, because none of the curtains fit the gosh darn windows except for these ones. But they're not really in the color that I want them to be in. So what about just white? Because my gosh, what else am I supposed to do? Ooh, maybe we can go in this sort of vibe. With the wallpaper, that's kind of cool. I kind of do like that. Well, alright. How much money have we used now, by the way? 915. Alright. Great. Let's move over to this office over here. We gotta decorate that too. So let's get and pop it on. And the first thing I'm gonna do is decorate this desk. So you can maybe have some flowers and a picture frame and some other nickety knacks as well. And then on this bar right here, we can also have some nickety knacks. We can go with some life and death stuff. And you know. And then for the curtains for this room, the circular room, I think we just have to go with these ones again. I mean, golly me. People, never ever do a build with tall walls and circular rooms. I beg of you. It's a whole disaster. And I don't know why I keep making builds with circular rooms even. I don't know. I think I just forget forget the pain. You know when you give birth and you're like, that was the worst pain I've ever felt in my entire life. And then a few years go by and you're like, you know what? I want to do it again. Not that I'm comparing my builds in The Sims to childbirth in any way. I'm gonna take that statement back. And we are gonna move on to this room. And the first thing I'm gonna do is put up my knickety knacks on my bedside table. So you can maybe have a little box, a little book, a watch maybe. That costs a lot. 300. Oh my gosh. And I'm just gonna plop it on there. Just sort of about like that. And then on this wall. What can we have on this wall? I want a painting, that's for sure. What about something like that? This room would have that sort of painting. Oh, it would. And then we can also put some knickety knacks on that dresser. You can have some red roses, gramophone, some books, and some pictures of Don Lothario, of course. All right. Now on into the bathroom. I barely even started on this bathroom. Tutti tutti. But I am going to change up that toilet to this one. Use some extra cash. And then what if you try to use this one? The rug pattern. That's not something that you oftentimes use. So why not try it? Well, I mean, okay. That was something, wasn't it? It truly was. And then we of course need some bathroom stuff, like some soap and some toothbrushes. I mean, they got a small old bathroom, so we can't really fit the whole world in here. But we can fit some stuff in our good old bathroom. And we can also have this beautiful painting. Boop. Wow. On to the next room. And I think our next room is gonna be this monstrosity. The walk-in closet. Which is so glitchy. I regret doing this walk-in closet. Because I don't understand why they didn't make a corner piece. Because now you're just left with this. What are you supposed to do? Nothing. What if we instead try with a bedroom kit? Because that came with some thingy things. In not that many neutral colors, but we can try with the green one. So let me just delete all of this. Goodbye. Hope I don't change my mind. And then we can just start placing that in some few places. Still don't know what I'm gonna do about them corners. What about what? Oh, I thought that these were like real cabinets and stuff. I guess not. I have been fooled once again. Oh no. What are you supposed to do with the corners? Tell me. That needs to know. Okay, is there maybe perhaps a green kitchen island that we can use? Kinda. You know what? We can try with that. We just squeeze that in the corner. Doesn't fit perfectly. We just have to deal with that today. We simply just have to. What if we go like so? That does not match in the color, but oh, golly me. What about this corner? Oh my gosh. All right. But if you try something like so, that looks absolutely ridiculous. But again, today we just have to. Oh my gosh, it's such a big old mess. Big old hot mess, I tell ya. But let's just put them knickety knacks on there and see what happens. Maybe something magical will appear. Maybe. It's probably not, but maybe. And it became sorta like so. And I have no idea what I said in my last clip because that was like a hot minute ago. But I put up some knickety knacks here and there. Change of the wallpaper to a dark brown. Hey ho, there we go. Our walk-in closet. Hey, what are we gonna move on to now? I am not so sure, not so sure. That one is not gonna be over there, by the way. I just put it in. But I think I'm gonna try to fix up this hallway just to get something in there. Put up some curtains maybe. And then in here we can put in a rug. And also maybe another table. Because that table does not work here. Why is it here? Well, now this rug doesn't work. Okay. What if we have two tables? And then a statue in the middle? What will happen then? Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh, wait. What if... what if we have a dinosaur thing in there? That is absolutely ridiculous. Why would we want that? Oh, people are gonna hate that, but I'm gonna do it. Because people who live in a castle, they would have a dinosaur head, okay? They would. Boom, bam, jamalam. That was truly magical. And then this table, what if we have that over there? Or in the middle? For some reason. By the way, how much money have we spent? Oh, we're getting there. We are getting there. 992,000 simoleons. Oh, I'm excited. It's nearly here. All right, well then. I'm gonna put in another table right in there with this painting on the wall. Words cannot describe the beauty of that. And then for this bedroom, we also do need to make some changes here and there to make it more lively. So we can have some towels on there that I'm gonna pretend is a blanket or blankets. You can choose yourself in your own mind what you want that to be. Is it a blanket or blankets? No one will ever know in this town of ours. Oh my gosh, Nora, please stop singing. I beg of you. And then in this room, we can also put up some more naggity things. Can this music box go on there? Maybe if you try a little bit harder. Sure, that can work. And right to roll. How much money have we used? Over 1 million. Oh my gosh, job done. Happy to be here. I mean, apparently this was not a challenge for me. I just need to put in stuff. And I feel like I'm not even done with putting in all the stuff that I need to put in. My goodness me. I'm not even done. All right, I think I'm gonna start working on this courtyard actually, because I'm not done with that. And we kind of do need to get that popping on. So what can I do? I do think that I want to try to make this whole courtyard just stone. I want to see how that is. So if you go like so, how will that turn out? I think I do kind of like that better. I think I'm gonna do that, but a lot neater and nicer. nicer. Oh my gosh, I don't know why, but the paint tool in The Sims today is so rickety-rackery, jiggity-jaggedy. It is not doing what I wanted to do. Maybe it's because of the lot. I mean, there are a lot of items on this lot. But look at the painting went sort of like so. And now we need some more plants in here. And what do I want? What about some of this? That's kind of nice for our courtyard. I can do that on all the sides because I like the symmetry. Don't care what anybody says. Symmetry brings peace to the mind and the soul. The end. And then over here, we can, what can we do over here? Maybe put in some of this. Kind of blocking the door, though. What if we do like that? What if we do like so? Not better, but not worse either. So I'll take it. That shadowing is not good at all. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna scream soon. And now the razor tool doesn't work. Now it works. No. What is going on? All right. Just be like that then. I'm gonna move on without you. And I'm gonna move on to putting up some vines on this house or castle. So we can have some over here on that wall. A wall of shame. Maybe also some on this tower as well. I have to use these ones because nothing else works. That's fine by me. And also some vines throughout this whole build. Yay me. It is kind of fun though. It's kind of like relaxing taxing. Just all the way around the town, you know. I don't think anybody knows that. Gotta be honest. But I do, and that's all that matters. What? But I'm also gonna put up some vines in the courtyard. Just hide up all of the ugliness. Just everything needs to be hidden up, hidden up, up in the tower, up in the hill. I'm gonna edit all of this out because people are gonna click out of this video as soon as I start rambling. I can tell you that for free, but I'm not gonna tell you that for free because I have so many bills to pay and I'm behind on most of them. By the way, oh my gosh, if you don't know, electricity in Norway, so expensive, especially during the winter times. That's when the electricity bill goes through the roof. And I got my first winter bill and I almost cried. Like, I don't know how this little tiny studio apartment can use that much power in the winter, but apparently it does. And I feel like I'm not using that much power either. Like I'm one person and I'm using most of my money on warming up myself so I don't freeze to death. I want my money back. And the worst of all, the power company who sells me this godforsaken power, they sent me an email. Sent me a gosh darn email on how to use less power to save more money. And I'm just like, what? What? I have never been so angry before. That's like if a school bully comes up to you and they're like, do you want to know how to get less bullied by me? Well, here is the top 10 tips. Screw you. And it's just like, I'm not the problem here. You are the person who's robbing me. I'm literally just trying to survive this winter. I have one little radiator and I'm being robbed. All right, but I think with that, I'm done with the vining of this place. Oh my gosh, it's all around town, on every single wall, on every single tower. I put up all the vines, and oh my, there was so many vines to put up, I tell ya. Oh, and I have used even more money, so that's great. I love that. But right, I now think that it's time to maybe do some detailings on the moat, and then I think I'm done. I better be done. I've been here too long. So what if for our moat bridge, maybe do some of this? That could be kind of cool. In my eyes, that was cool. All right, I'm just gonna put up some paint around this moat, and let's see where we go from then. And where we will go from then is pure disappointment because something is wrong with the painting tool. But anyways, I'm gonna put up some more rocks around our good old moat to just close in some gaps here and there and also make it a little bit less something. Make it a little bit less something. Don't know what I meant there, but I probably meant something. But I can also put up some more plants around here because that is very, very empty. I just left that spot open like a sore thumb. And that is never ever a good thing to do. We also need some more plants over here. I see. I've seen for a long time. Oh my gosh. She's singing again. I do kind of feel that I'm never going to be done with this build. There's always something more to do. Around every nook and cranny. Oh, and you know what else we need? I need to save because I haven't done that in a hot while. But we also do need a trash bin and a mailbox. I completely forgot about that. I don't even have space for it. I can put it over here with that one. No, that is a double mailbox. What am I doing? I mean, that's perfect to see in front of a castle. And why is that? What is that? Oh, it's my dinosaur. Go back in your hole. There you go. And by the way, this room is not done either. Oh no, I'm never gonna be done. The plants are sticking through. Oh no. I'm gonna try to fix it up real quick. If I go like so, and then put this on the wall, then we can have a lamp, a telephone. That is something that we all need in our life. A telephone. So people can call me on my telephone all day and all night. Please never call me on my telephone. So I'm gonna scream if that happens. Ooh, and maybe I can change up the flooring in here too. To stony flooring. Maybe. What if we do a checkered pattern? If this does not look good, I'm gonna cry because we have so many tiles to do. But that's okay because I cry every day anyways. And did that look good? Yep. Perfect. No notes. And then the butler's room. I'm gonna make that even more shabby. Cause come on. And then, my friends, the last piece of resistance. The ceiling that I always forget. And that I'm also never ever happy with. But here we are. Then maybe. What if you have some dormers on those towers? Will that be something? You know what? I like that. We're gonna have that. Oh my good old little towers over here. Okay, Nora. No. Stop that. And now... do I want something more? Like some balconies? No, we're gonna stop it right there. Stop it, Nora. Stop it. Now, once and for all, the build is complete. It is complete. And by the way, how much money have we used for this build? Drumroll, please. 1,074,000 simoleons. Whoa. Yay. I don't even know what to say. And you know what it's time for right now? It is time for the house tour. So strap yourself in, because oh my gosh, where do we even begin with this house tour? I mean, maybe we can start with the outside of the castle. And here we are at the very front of it, with the exterior and all of the vines and our good old moat that just wraps around this whole entire castle. Oh my, I like it. Well, I better like it. I've used so much time on this. But let's step into this castle and try not to get confused by all the rooms. So here is the first room, which is the entryway with our big old staircase. And then we have a hallway, our hallway number 1 with what happened there, I don't know. But in here we have the art room, and then we have the sad old butler's room with the sad old bathroom. But then we have a grand old bathroom for the other peeps in this castle. Wow. Further on we have a stairwell room, a living room, our living room number 1 peeps. And then we have another stairwell with a something room, a dining room, another something room with a plant sticking through. Oh. But if we get out on further, we have the kitchen that has such a weird layout that we are just gonna move on. And we're gonna move on into here, another stairwell room. And what happened over there? Oh no! All right, I need to fix that. But in here we also have another hallway with the forgotten chest room, a laundry room that I forgot about. I'm not done with this one. Oh no! But then we also have another butler room and another bathroom. Yet another stairwell room. It's a stairwell. Yeah. And then we have the bar room with what happened in the ceiling. Oh no. But we have something funky over there and something funky over there with also an office. Let's go upstairs. And on the second floor we have our dinosaurs. And oh, what is happening with the ceiling? Oh my gosh. And then we have a bathroom and a tea room with this corner, the good old couch corner, with also a very scary hallway and the library and whatever this is. Oh yeah, XB. And then we have a TV room with lots of plants on the walls. And then, oh, we have another hallway and also an office with a little drinking bar. And then down here in the scary hallway, we have the primary bedroom just priming away. And then we have the ensuite bathroom. I forgot to paint that wall. No! And then over here we have, oh, I need to put some more lights in here. Gee, I forgot about that. But here's the walk-in closet. Beautiful. And then down here, we have the yellow bedroom just bedrooming away. And also the yellow ensuite bathroom. And in here we have the red bedroom with the red bathroom. And then we have this thing again. Oh my gosh. But we also have the blue bedroom. Bluish green. Mostly blue. A hint of green. No, not really. I don't know. But they also have a bathroom with a shower and a toilet room. And then down here we have what was this again? This was the pink bedroom. And it's a cute old room with their own pink bathroom. Ooh, and I think that was all of the rooms. But I'm not sure. I'm getting so lost. So let's see. Here's an overview of the first floor and the second floor. And I have still some things to fix. It seems great for me. But now it is time for the outro. And this is the outro. Welcome. If you for some reason want to download this house, you can. It is up in my gallery, and my gallery ID is JustNoraGaming. Ooh, and if you also want to see more of me, you also can. I have my second channel where I do stuff, and I also have my Twitch channel where I also do stuff, but live. And the links will be down below for that. And don't forget to like, subscribe, because it really does help me out. So thank you. But only if you want to. And I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.